Today's a good day. A good day because these are the things that I can't wait to see the reactions and how they play out. These are the things that make players cheaper than they should be. Harvey is going to be so much cheaper now. And what has happened, it's a psychological effect. J.K. Dobbins signs with the Broncos. They have a competent backup that's no different than Najee or Dylan Sampson or Ramondre Stevenson. But because it happened right now, people panic. I can't tell you how many messages, comments, emails, text messages from buddies where 90% at least are negative and they think that Harvey, his stock is plummeting. It's unbelievable. And it makes me excited, and it is an opportunity. This is no different. This is one of the most injury-prone running backs in the league, first and foremost. This guy staying healthy, the chances of it are slim to none. Torn Achilles tendon. No running back has ever been a top 10 running back after a torn Achilles tendon. Ever. Never returned to form to be a top 10 running back if they were. Never become a top 10 running back after an Achilles tear. Never. He's being paid a small amount of money, and he's backing up a second-round rookie that is their future, that's been working like a monster, gaining the confidence of his coach. His coach said he'll be on the field all 3 downs. He's a 3-down back. And you think J.K. Dobbins on his $2 million deal is coming to take his job? He's no different than Audric Estime. And he won't stay healthy. He's no different than Najee Harris. Why is Hampton still going in the bottom of round 3, top of round 4? If you're going to say that J.K. Dobbins is going to take out RJ Harvey, why are you still drafting Hampton where you're drafting Hampton? This is a case of recency bias. What has happened most recently? Oh my God, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. They brought in J.K. Dobbins. This is the best news that ever graced your screen. This is the best news you've heard all offseason long. And all these people DMing me over and over, people that have been on the Harvey train, I take away anybody that questioned it. You know who you are. Anybody that sent me a message and said, J.K. Dobbins? J.K. Dobbins, Smitty? J.K. Dobbins? If you sent me a message, if you dropped a chat anywhere, your Harvey card has been taken away. You no longer get to hire H and Associates.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Your Bijan card has been revoked. Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I honestly, I thought we'd see a lot of negative Noahs come rolling in, but I did not imagine it to be at the clip of 90% negativity. This is the best thing that ever happened to your RJ Harvey value. First and foremost, you are getting him now a lot later than where you were getting him. You were getting him in the 4th round. Sometimes he fall to round 5. Now with Dobbins in the picture, based on the early reactions of even my own people, even a lot of the regulars on the channel that have been acting like Harvey, they're conducting the train. First sign of anything, they jumped off. They leaped off the train. So many people leaped off this train from this channel, from the follower group we've got just surrounded around this thing. And you think that the outside world is going to look any different at this? They're going to look at it worse. So for anybody that even remotely thinks that this is a concern, you just now packaged in every bit of risk you could possibly package in to RJ Harvey's value, because he's no longer going in round number 4. He's no longer going in round number 5. He might fall to 6. He might fall at least to mid to late 5 early 6th round. Who knows where he's going to fall? But all I know is J.K. Dobbins is no different than Najee Harris. J.K. Dobbins is no different than Dylan Sampson. J.K. Dobbins is no different than Ramondre Stevenson. In fact, he's way more injury prone than all those guys combined. And he's had a torn Achilles tendon. No running back has ever been top 10. Ever. After an Achilles rupture. Ever. And now we're worried about J.K. Dobbins, who's brought in to be the backup. They're going to use both running backs. Of course they are. They're going to run the ball 450 times. You don't want the rookie running 400 times. This is not the way you operate a team. They're going to run him probably 240, 230, 220. Maybe it is 210. They're going to have another 200 and 240, 250 carries, depending on how many he gets over to. They're going to have another 200 plus carries to divvy up amongst the other running backs. What do they think? He's going to carry the ball 300 times? You think J.K. Dobbins was brought in on his pretty reasonable contract to be a backup running back to what? Carry the ball 250, 300 times? Even if Harvey got 220 and he got 170, 155, whatever, that's what you need out of a backup. Estime was going to get it anyway. J.K. Dobbins staying healthy is a far cry from reality. But just unbelievable. This is a good day. This is a good day. I love that people are panicking. We just got the best gift handed to us going into upcoming drafts. Now, it kind of sucks if you've already drafted because you could have got him at an even bigger discount. If you haven't had your rookie draft yet, this is a blessing in disguise. You might just get him now at 8, 9 overall in your rookie only draft. But this is hilarious. I put this on I posted this on Twitter. RJ Harvey just got cheaper. 90% of all of the 20 to 30 immediate messages so far in the first 20 minutes, this is the first 20 minutes, are all negative. The sky is falling messages. Oh boy, Harvey is going to be a steal. And I can tell you right now, it's getting worse. It's getting much worse. The deal that he got was 2.75 base. He has the capability of reaching incentives, making it a $5 million contract, but it is a $2.75 million deal. This is backup money. This is something that if they need him to step up, that he can earn some more in incentives. This is the starter. I don't know what makes people. It's so weird to me. Najee Harris was on the roster before Hampton. Therefore, when Hampton joined, nobody looks at Najee like they look at J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins getting signed right now in front of your face while Harvey's on the roster makes J.K. Dobbins diminish Harvey way more than you diminished Hampton when Hampton landed on a roster with Najee already on it. Same thing with Hendy. Hendy going to New England. Let me give you a thought experiment here. If Hendy were drafted to New England and Ramondre Stevenson was not on the roster, everybody would be like, Hendy to the moon. And then if Ramondre was signed today to be the backup behind Hendy, and he was signed today, Hendy would get drafted handfuls of spots lower than he is right now. That is the psychology of this thing. If J.K. Dobbins was on the roster and then they drafted RJ Harvey, Harvey would be getting drafted higher today than he would be in the other scenario. Harvey would be getting drafted handfuls of spots higher, maybe a round higher, if J.K. was on the roster already, like Najee was, brought in before the draft, and they draft RJ Harvey, squash goes J.K. Dobbins' value. Instead, the order of things messes with people's head. There is no difference between J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris, and Ramondre Stevenson in terms of the pecking order and role. And in fact, there's way more risk in J.K. Dobbins, who is probably the most injury-prone running back in the entire National Football League, who's had a torn Achilles tendon, which no running back has ever been a top 10 running back after tearing their Achilles tendon, ever in the history of the NFL and in fantasy football. Ever. Harvey, Hendy, Judkins. Why are people not talking about Dylan Sampson like they are J.K. Dobbins? Does somebody really believe that Dylan Sampson, the young buck, versus the guy that's had an Achilles tendon rupture and has been the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League, so much so he wasn't effective at the goal line? They got rid of him because of that. Harvey's going to be the goal line guy. J.K. Dobbins was ineffective at the goal line. That's why they did not bring him back into LAC. This is no different. Why is Judkins everybody's darling? You see it all over. Judkins is going to the moon because Sampson didn't get signed today. J.K. Dobbins getting signed today has more of an impact in the mind to so many people. The psychology behind this is powerful. And people need to step back and look at it and say, you know what? It's going to be one of these things where it's going to hit hard at first. We're going to see a drop in ADP. We might see it climb back up. But Harvey is a monster. J.K. Dobbins doesn't change the talent level that was Harvey. If you believe that Harvey got taken down a notch or a peg because of the signing, then you didn't believe in Harvey as much as you thought you did. You didn't believe that this guy is the next Alvin Kamara. You believed in his situation. If you think that Harvey is no longer capable of holding on to the starting job, you like this situation. You did not like the player. Dial in to the phone line. Let's roll.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I love this. I love this. And it's crazy how many people are scattering on this one. And no one's even saying you got to continue to draft. Ben, don't call other people clowns. You're in timeout, bro. You're lucky I only put you in for 5 minutes. Do it again, and you'll be out of here. So, somebody has an opinion, and you just sit here and call them a clown, bro. You just continue to rip on people in the chat. Not going to happen. Anyway, dial into the phone line. Phone lines are open. Let me test the phone line, see if the audio is coming through. Here it is. I don't have the audio. I have it playing, but it doesn't show anything, so I'm going to have to switch over here. Bear with me. Phone lines are open, though. Dial in. I should be able to switch it before you dial. And it should be good to go. All right, there we go. There we go. Now, I will say this. On a point of clarification, on a point of relevancy here, J.K. Dobbins is now the backup. Estime is very underwhelming. We said that all offseason. Like, everyone said, what about Estime? What about Estime? No, Estime is nothing. You know, McLaughlin, these guys that were ineffective last year to an insane degree. Like, Peyton had to just kept rotating because he couldn't find any production. So J.K. Dobbins is now the backup. He's the cuff to Harvey, no doubt about it. And in best ball, it's even in some ways more powerful. Like, if we're talking best ball, J.K. Dobbins and Harvey together is a fantastic cuff. If Harvey missed time, J.K. would be effective. Just like Sampson, just like Najee Harris, just like, you know, maybe not Ramondre. Ramondre, poor Ramondre. He was once a top 5 to 7 running back, but he kind of just, no pun intended, fumbled his job away. But yeah, Estime's trash now. He's nothing. JK's the backup until JK gets hurt. If he gets enough work to get hurt. But Dobbins is going to be somebody that is certainly a very fine handcuff to Harvey. And in best ball, it's a really, really good combo. Very safe combo. But yeah, I mean, Dobbins, if Dobbins got enough work, he would get injured. That's the whole point. You're live, TJ. What can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, thanks for calling me down on the Harvey news or Dobbins news. I have Harvey in a couple dynasty leagues. I was looking at his season long on Underdog, and it was at 724 yards for just rushing yards. And now they took it off. I'm kind of glad I didn't lock that in though yet. I was wondering, do you think that's a good bet though? Like for Harvey, 724.
Well, bro, if I'm telling you he's going to be a league winner, he better get more than 700 rushing yards. I would have smashed that. I still would smash that. That's one of the easiest things you could find. 700 yards rushing for Harvey. You should have taken it. If they took it off, it's gone now. But maybe they lower it. Maybe they lower it. Maybe they don't want to. They may not want to touch it though. But they may not want to touch it because they're not sure what's going on. But that's an easy cakewalk number. Nothing's changed for Harvey. I know people want it. I know negative people that were down on his age. You got to understand that there's such a hater club of anti-Harvey people already. Those are a majority. Not everybody. There are people jumping off the train. I see them because they were on this train, and literally the first sign of resistance, they were out of here. They clearly didn't believe in Harvey's talent. They liked the situation, and they thought they liked his talent. They liked the hype about it. But you got to understand, the people that are loud about it are either they're J.K. Dobbins owners or they were anti-Harvey, and they're just so excited that they might be right now. They think they might be right. That's what it is. It's a bunch of noise, bro. Harvey's a monster. A monster. And the anti-Harvey people were looking for anything. This is like the Achane doubter. The person that doubted Achane and Kyron are the people that doubt Harvey. So you're really going to listen to those? You're going to let those people in the live chat or in a comment section somewhere or in an Instagram comment section say, oh, JK's going to be better than you think? You're going to let those people guide your fantasy season? You're going to let somebody that was against Harvey from Jump Street, that's been looking for anything, and now J.K. Dobbins, the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League, that the Chargers didn't want to bring back because he was so ineffective at the goal line? That's the running back that you're scared is going to take out the player that we all think, well, at least I thought everybody was on Team Harvey, that this guy was going to be one of the next Alvin Kamara meets a handful of different players. His style of play is just insane. He is Alvin Kamara meets Marshawn Lynch. There's so many. He runs like Saquon in some ways. He's got Saquon's quads. This guy's a monster. Sean Payton gushed over drafting him. And we think that a free agent running back that's been sitting out there until right now is going to come and take his job. I'm buying Harvey everywhere. Everywhere. Dynasty League owners, you can bet 8 out of 10 of them are panicking right now. If you go straight for him, you're going to maybe ruin your chance. Just maybe send him a message, glad I didn't go after Harvey. Or send a message for another running back on the roster. Let the Harvey conversation naturally play out with them giving you the idea of taking Harvey. You go straight for Harvey right now, you're going to instill a little bit more confidence in that person that might be doubting him right now. You want to be the owner that doesn't want Harvey. And then he's going to suggest Harvey to you, and you're going to steal him away. For people that think that J.K. Dobbins, he's going to get some work. Of course he's going to get work. They're going to run What do people not understand about teams running the ball 400, 450 times a season? You're not going to run Harvey 400 times. Of course J.K. is going to get some work. Estime was slated to get work. It's Estime's work that J.K.'s taking, not Harvey's. It's crazy to me. It's like people aren't even thinking. They're worried. They're just petrified Peters. It reminds me a lot of the Breece Hall panic when Cook came in, Dalvin Cook came in. It reminds me of a lot of those situations. But good God, man. This is crazy. Rhino with the $2 hauler. Google J.K. Dobbins injury history. Spoiler, it's bad. Says Rhino. Look, he's the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. Plain and simple. Bryson, sorry about the wait on your super chat. After the news in Dynasty, someone sent me JT for my Harvey, and I was like, hell no. You're going to get a lot of people, Bryson, they're going to say, you should have took that in the chat, just so you know. Here they come. There's going to be a bunch. It's Harvey haters. They're so excited they think they could be right. I could be right now. Let me just double down. You should have taken JT. All right, bro. What else you got? 700 smash.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. The Harvey news doesn't phase me. I'm gonna get him in redraft now. I can get him, I think, round 5-ish. A question to you real quickly is how would you approach rookie running backs? I really want to go in on rookie running backs this year. I've done a
Yes, you
couple
should.
mocks. Assuming I have Harvey, for sure that I'm gonna get. Do you think too bold to also go after Genty and Hampton, or should I kind of prioritize one over the other? How would you go about it? Because my strategy is, full disclosure, this is a 3 wide receiver full PPR league. So that's
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't. You're asking me to give you what moves do I make on the chessboard on the 5th and 6th and 7th move into the game. Bro, I don't know. I'd be lying to you if I said this is what I would do. I gotta watch you play it out, bro. I gotta know who's on the board, who have you taken, who's left. There's no way to game plan that. All I can tell you is drafting rookie running backs is always awesome, especially if you draft the right ones. This is why we have the Harvey, Genty, Harvey, Hendy. I love drafting all 3 of those guys. I love Hampton. I like 2. Hampton's nice, but Hampton's in no different situation than Harvey.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people are not understanding that. JK's on a 1-year deal. Najee's on a 1-year deal. JK's the most injury-prone running back in the league. Najee's never missed a game and is a good goal line back in their mind. What is everybody talking about? Hampton's so much safer than Harvey. Yeah, right. What are we talking about here?
I guess my overall question is, like, do you think that would be too aggressive if I were to have a team where I would focus on Genty, Hampton, and Harvey?
No, it just depends on what else you got, bro.
Okay.
It depends on TJ. If you got something else, yeah, it just depends on what you got on the board. Like Genty round 1, yes, okay, sure. Hampton, it depends where you're taking Hampton. I like Hendy, I like Harvey, I like Hampton, I like all 3. Am I taking all 4 running backs before you're taking wide receivers? No. So like it all just matters of what you got, bro.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, no, my plan was definitely to probably go Genty round 1, then smash receivers like the 3 picks.
Yeah. Look, the Harvey value is so good now, you could scoop him up later now. Hendy's still decently, back there ADP wise. So yeah, I love it. It's almost like a hero RB approach, but then you come in with the rookies at the end. All right, bro.
I appreciate it.
Later. Najee? JK, meet Najee. You're in the same damn situation. You're in the same damn situation. One of you is injury prone, the most injury prone running back in the league. The other one's never missed a game, and they were brought in to maybe be a goal line guy. Gee, I wonder who's more of the threat, Najee or is it JK? Or are they just equally going to be irrelevant within a couple of weeks? Crazy, bro. This is wild stuff. This is why I got a psych degree, to be honest with you. I was sitting in a bar. I forget what my degree was when I was a sophomore in college. I didn't choose psychology yet, but I was sitting in a bar and I didn't know what degree I wanted. And I took psych and I liked it. And some guy was sitting there and he was at the bar and he's a little kooky, but it was a bar. I thought maybe he was just wasted or something. I said, bro, I am an artist. Do you mind if I draw you? And I said, sure. Sit there with a pint, waiting with my buddies, doing something. I don't know. I think we were talking, but I kept like looking over at him. Dude was just going like crazy, just staring at me, going down, staring at me, going, and just sketching it out. And he took about, I'd say like 25 minutes. Took about 25 minutes. And then he goes, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And he was dead serious. He was not joking. He was off. And then he showed it to me. It looked like that. It was literally not even detailed. It was just a stick figure. And I remember saying to myself, I got to study psychology. This is fascinating. I put it on my wall, changed my major, and I never looked back. And granted, psychology, does it. You can't do much unless you get a master's in it. But I enjoyed it. I love psychology. It was an amazing. This is what this reminds me of. It reminds me of people out there drawing stick figures. They're like, but this is what Let me draw J.K. Dobbins. We got J.K. Dobbins right here. We got Najee Harris right here. I'm scared to death of the rookie's not going to be believed in anymore. They don't like him. They don't like him. Loud noise. Everyone's making loud noise. If J.K. Dobbins tears his other Achilles tendon, which is a very, very high likely thing to happen to a player with an Achilles tear, even when they're recovered a year, there's a lot of reasons why your Achilles tears. Your Achilles a lot of the times will wear at the same level. So if one blows, the other one's not in great shape. And then there's compensation, even when you're a year, 2 years away, where you're still putting a little bit more pressure on the still good Achilles or the still untorn Achilles, and then it ruptures. There's a whole bunch of reasons why he is very injury prone. Already one of the most injury prone players in the league before he tore his Achilles tendon. And again, no running back has ever become a top 10 running back or returned to top 10 running back numbers after an Achilles tear. Yes, we've had some advancements in medicine, but he's not necessarily involved in that. This is not a player that tore it last year, and they're making slight different changes and advancements. He's not a quarterback. He's not a basketball player. He's not a receiver. Those are different players that have different impact to their Achilles, the explosiveness you need to be a running back. Hitting that hole, 300-pound lineman, piling up multiple 300-pound linemen, piling up on top of you as you're trying to brace and explode and use that Achilles in a very different way. So, buy, right? Now is the time to buy RJ Harvey. And I'll put that on screen so everybody knows what time it is. And if you don't want to, you didn't like him anyway. You know, you didn't like him anyway, and that's fine. But buy Harvey right now. Now is the time. Phone line's open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Unreal, bro. I can't tell you how many negative messages I've seen out of. There's literally, like on my Patreon, there were some positive ones. You know, people raced in to go, this will make them cheaper. And there was a couple concerned Caleb's, but for the most part, it was positive there. But everywhere else, I want to say it's been like 90 to 95% negative. Harvey to the dumpster. Take your season to the dumpster, Mike. Mike, how many leagues did you miss Harvey in that makes you feel that way? Harvey to the dumpster. See what I mean? It's so rampant. It's all over. The negativity on Harvey is crazy. Still King says facts. Harvey to the dumpster. Look at this. I don't know if you guys just missed out on every single piece of Harvey shares out there. Easy Ball says, Smitty, you're desperate to hold on to the value. It's over, bro. How many leagues did you miss out on getting Harvey in? What's that make? Is that, were you 0 for 4? Is that what it's getting you excited? Getting you all hot and bothered? This is crazy, bro. Belico, you're negative Noah in here half the time anyway. How is this positive news for Harvey? I just explained it for 28 minutes, Belico, so maybe rewind the video. See what I mean? Look in my own live stream where it's a very, very pro Harvey. I know a lot of the negative Harvey people have been quiet for a while. They've just been stewing, and now they come out. But even some of the positive people that were kind of on the train, are out because of J.K. Dobbins. Unbelievable. It's time to invest. It's time to invest. Go buy Harvey now. This negativity is going to spread. You could even wait maybe a week. Let this thing kind of, you know, let this thing maybe fester for a minute. Let it ferment. Let it simmer on the oven for a little bit, because this is the early reaction. I can't wait till the ADPs adjust for it and then start driving his value down even more. If he's going in around 4.5 to 5.5, in best ball, which I believe is a little higher than where you'd find him in a grandma league. You'd probably get him more around 5.1 to 5.8. And now all of a sudden, I don't know. I guess like maybe round 6, round 5 to 6 is probably where no more round 4. The HHH and Associates can now be had very easily.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
This should be attainable very easily now, whereas it wasn't before. Harvey now falling probably to 5.6. We'll see how far he falls. And now you can grab Harvey in a completely baked in scenario where you have this guy's value. I mean, J.K. Dobbins' arrival is baked into Harvey 6th-round value like nothing I've ever seen.
Baked in, boys.
I mean, that's insane. All right, one or two more phone calls. We'll be back in a bit.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
But Judkins to the moon, because that didn't just recently happen. Dylan Sampson, even though it stung to watch him get drafted, now Judkins is going to the moon, but Harvey can't because of the most injury-prone running back in J.K. Dobbins landed on roster. Matt understands what time it is. We should have weekly fantasy contests for members here. Warrior, we have all kinds of stuff. We got a couple drafts coming up. Just get ready, my boy. You're going to love it. Harvey is the new Kamara Sproles. Kevin knows what time it is. Unbelievable opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. You can either be on board or not on board. I don't care. Of course, I care about my OGs, but anybody that wants to be a negative Noah to this situation, keep it coming. Please help. Do your part. Spread the word. Spread the word. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. Tell everybody twice so that we can get this value cranked down even more. Joel, you're live. Last phone call, then we're out of here.
Hello, is that me?
Joel, you're live. Yeah.
All right. I think J.K. Dobbins has a major risk injury. So that's one thing that's good for RJ Harvey.
Of course.
But if J.K. Dobbins does stay healthy, it's be a little inconsistent rookie year, I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, you can have that opinion, but you got to also remember they did not bring him in to be the starter. RJ Harvey was a second-round running back that Sean Payton handpicked to be his running back, a guy he's already said is going to play 3 downs. He's going to be on the field. They got special packages designed for him. J.K. Dobbins is Estime. So I don't understand why it would make Harvey inconsistent. J.K. Dobbins was ineffective.
I know Estime. He's not like J.K. Dobbins' skill level.
J.K. Dobbins was ineffective to the point where they didn't bring him back into LAC, bro. He was not good at the goal line. He was very ineffective.
Yeah. RJ Harvey will be the total red zone back. So that's going to be good.
Yeah. All right, bro. All right, later.
Yeah, we'll see.
And staying healthy is part of the problem for J.K. Dobbins. Part of the big argument. That's not me, Smitty. I'm a different Joel. Joel Kaplan wants to make sure he's in the he keeps his RJ Harvey card. Appreciate you, bro. All right. I'll see you all later. We'll be back for another episode. I'm sure there'll be more news today. We got other news that broke, but we might save some of the little stuff for the 8 p.m. show. But if there's anything else big that happens, we'll be back. See you all tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern or earlier. Thank you to the super chatters. Appreciate you, Bryce and Rhino, all the boys. Go get them RJ Harvey shares. Buy low. The stock plummeted today. You'll never get, well, you'll get them cheaper tomorrow maybe than today. So RJ, J.K. Dobbins scaring me.
jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Audac attack. Audac attack. Lamb. Pickens.
Oh, we got another. I missed out on Harvey, so I'm trying to feel better about it. Terry R. Tell everybody, Bleeko. Tell everybody. Mike, keep being a hater like you always are in the chat. Keep spreading the word. Let everybody know, Mike. Let everybody know, Mike. Tell him how bad Harvey is because you missed out on drafting him in 4 leagues. Tell him, Mike.